Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah. I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard.
That's right, folks. You just gotta go hard. Over here at the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast, we're going hard with Part 8, Ahsoka, the Star Wars Extended Universe. How do they pronounce what do they? How do they pronounce this? It's the Star Wars Ahsoka Disney Plus series, I believe, if I'm correct. Yeah. But we're here to do Part 8, which is of course the Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. As I was just saying in the studio before we came in, here to start the live stream, I don't think I can drop a 10. On Part 8, but obviously we'll see what everybody on the panel thinks tonight. I, of course, am Jeff S., a.k.a. TrueKnowledge. I am the initial creator and the co-host of the MCU'S Video YouTube channel and podcast. I'm proud to be, very humbled to be. I'm proud to wear this Ahsoka t-shirt. Proud to be a Star Wars fan. And there you go. Andres is too busy with his blackface tonight. And the guy that he got from one of those witch sisters or whatever and whatnot. That's right, Andres. We know that your allergies really are the pink eye from Thrawn that you got from one of the witch sister bitches. That witch sister pussy fucked you up, bro.
Excuse me, sir. I'm a Sith Lord. I'm one of those, how you say, Sith, so I turn into the dark side.
It's like an incestual thing. So like you can't catch the pink eye.
No. Folks, don't listen to TrueKnowledge. He doesn't know anything about the Force or the Mere Chronicles or whatnot.
Are the Night Mothers on Duramir like? Don't they help? Are they part of the Sith deal?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So either ways, folks. On the panel this evening, Cyberneticshark, my co-host, veteran content creator and veteran YouTuber. Andre's a pop culture guy, MCU'S Bleeding Edge regular, and my special guest co-host on the MCU'S Bleeding Edge report, which we're doing the Daryl Dixon finale this Monday. Can't wait, bitch. Just gonna be dope as fuck. And we got Loki episode 2 this Friday. I think it's my turn on that bitch, right? Yeah, that's right. I'm moderating. Can't wait for that shit. Leech, you're gonna come in and join us for one of these Loki episode reviews?
You know what? I haven't started watching it yet, so I'm not sure yet. For some reason, I'm not. I really like the first season, but I'm just not psyched to watch this new one. I don't know.
Is it because of the Daredevil news?
Yeah, I know that sucks too. But like, I don't know. I think I've reached saturation with MCU. I'm going to say the only good thing, and you could debate this, that I've seen in the past year is probably Guardians 3.
Don't tell Cyber that.
What's that?
Don't tell Cyber that.
Okay. What, he didn't like it?
I'll let him fend for himself on that one.
All right.
I had good and bads. It did not feel like the previous two films.
Gotcha.
There you go. See, I had a conversation with somebody today about Cyber's point of view about Guardians of the Galaxy. Or was it yesterday? But that's okay, because it wasn't talking behind Cyber's back. I was just explaining his opinions on Guardians of the Galaxy and explaining that he agrees with me that if they hadn't fired Gunn, he would have produced a film that would have been probably more of his liking. You know what I'm saying? And I think him and I are both. And I think Andres, you are too. You would agree that probably at that point we all would have really enjoyed the film. And things happen, unfortunately. But we are here to talk about Ahsoka and Star Wars. Leech is here from the DJB Productions Network over on YouTube. Hats off to Danny. I'm still waiting for a date on that RoboCop shit, bro. What's up? You watch all this shit? You know what I'm saying? And whatnot for nothing? Like, what's the deal, Danny? You better get your shit together, man. Or tell Matt to do the damn show or something. What's up? Basically, Danny is somebody who's been on the Bleeding Edge. He's special guest host of the Bleeding Edge before, so we hope to see Danny back in the action over here pretty soon. I know he's getting into busy season, right, Leech?
Yeah. November and December, he's in the weeks.
Well, UPS, he'll be slammed. I used to work at UPS at one point.
Oh, okay.
Andres, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you, man.
Pretty good. I'm excited to talk about this episode. Had a chance to watch it today. So yeah, very exciting Star Wars week for me. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Hey, hats off to Andres, the pop culture guy, for rocking it out and rocking the whole series with us. And what's up, Suni? I like that screen name. And are you a big fan, bro? Big fan of what? Not of us. Don't tell me. Are you actually a fan of them? She's Bleeding Edge, or the pink eye? Which STD shit? I can't. I'm not really sure, but we'll have to see. No, I actually got folks. I actually got publicly acknowledged, and actually somebody who knew I was from the MCU's Bleeding Edge yesterday. So I just want to shout out the guys at Publix, who knew who I was and everything and whatnot. Maybe it's because I wore a YouTube shirt in public and whatnot and everything, and I had my pen in my ear and everything and whatnot. But I actually got recognized. I don't know how often that happens for other YouTubers, but it's pretty cool. So I don't have any. Unfortunately, I'm working on that. Cyber, I checked out our Rockville tickets yesterday, and I'm working on the hotel, whatever hotel ticket package and whatnot for us to go this year. Rutledge wants to go with us too. You think I should buy him a ticket?
I say he buys his own ticket.
He wants me to get it. He says that would be a really big solid for him. So I think I'm probably gonna hook him up. I'll hook Mark up so he can hang out with me and Cyber.
It's up to you, sir. It's your money.
Well, Cyber and I are going to Rockville again this year. I offered Andres to see if Andres wants to go. He's still hemming and hawing on whether or not he wants to go with us or not. I told him I would bring him down here too, so that he could revel with me and Cyber, because I've got to make up for last Rockville because I've still got the passes I never even brought from last year sitting right over here. And they've got all this VIP shit that Cyber and I could have used. It turns out we could have Cyber, we could have been right up close to the stage of all the bands and whatnot, all that shit if we wanted to and all that shit. Yes, that's why I have to redo, because me and Cyber didn't even know what our VIP privileges were. And so we've got to redo Rockville. And so that's why I'm coming a day early this time, just so I can set up the agenda and lay it all out, and so that me and Cyber can make sure we take in the whole festival, or as much of it as we can. Hopefully Bammy will be back. But Andres, and hopefully we'll be able to convince you to come down, brother. Leech, if you want to come down to Rockville, brother, you're welcome to join us, man.
Yeah, where is it? Down in Florida?
Daytona Beach, baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's headlining?
We don't know yet. I'm sure it'll be a good show. I mean, they usually put some pretty big acts on. So, but either way, first thoughts on Ahsoka Part 8. First thoughts on the series before I play one of the trailers. Go to you, Cyberneticshark. First thoughts on the series going into Episode 8.
First thoughts going into the finale. So far, it's been a really great series. Lots of pluses, very little minuses. Great action, great story, great acting, great CGI. Just pretty much really good all around. So I was, going into the finale, hoping for a really good, solid finale. That was basically my take going into it.
All right, Mr. Leech.
Yeah, I was thrilled with this series leading up. Couldn't wait to watch it. Kind of threw off my review of episode 7 because I was fresh off of watching episode 8. But yeah, I was extremely satisfied with the series as a whole. And going in, I had all these not expectations, but maybe plot threads going through my head of what could possibly be happening during this episode, and we saw some pretty wild shit. So I was very happy with it.
Yeah, you brought up the witch shit last time and whatnot and everything, so I was waiting to see who we were gonna get. What'd you think, Andres? What did you think going into the finale?
Yeah, nice one, Cyber. Well, just like Jay Lee, I also saw episode 8, so it was kind of hard for me to think about episode 7 as well. But yeah, I was kind of wondering how the series will wrap up all its plot threads, and plus, I was more curious about how they were going to handle Ray Stevenson's character, like how they're gonna leave him, and you know, not to like spoil anything towards the whole review, but like I think him and his apprentice was kind of like the weak link of the series for me, because I feel like they were very strong from the beginning, and then towards the end they just kind of fumbled their storyline. So, which is kind of sad, but it is also sadder because none of us expected Ray Stevenson stuff, so it's really sad. But yeah, overall, I was very happy about this episode. I think this series did stick this landing, in terms of spectacle and what a Star Wars, show and movie should be. But in terms of like plot and character development, that's where I have an issue with this series. But which we'll get into, forward in the review. But yeah, overall, I love this episode. I highly recommend this series. It's it has its ups, has its downs, as always with TV. But yeah, it was a really great ride, and I'm very happy about the show.
Great. That's a great comment, Andres. Well spoken. I definitely think you made some good points there that need to be addressed. I think that Balin was basically removed from the entire last two episodes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that was part of the story. And again, his death was unexpected. It wasn't something where anybody, it wasn't like some Chadwick Boseman type shit, but like it was, I don't remember the exact details. Leech, you probably would have a better idea, but how did he pass again?
You know what? I'm not sure.
Either way, it was sudden.
Yeah.
Heart attack.
Had a heart attack. Okay, so he had a heart attack. So yeah, it was sudden, and we don't. I mean, obviously, has anybody heard anything about a season 2 yet?
I don't think anything is officially been announced,
nothing.
but I think it's pretty obvious they got to have it.
Well, do they have to have it, or are they going to do the movie?
Well, the movie's not until the earliest will be 26, so that's like 3 years away.
I mean, as far as the Mandoverse goes.
Yeah.
Is that the projection? Is that? I mean, because that's what I'm wondering. Is that this is supposed to tie into the Mandoverse?
Yeah.
So are we gonna get another Mandalorian season?
Yeah, they
are.
Yeah. They have the storylines written up to and including season 5, but Favreau said he could do 10 seasons.
I was going to say, didn't he say that he still had like more than half of like the story was still there?
Right. Yeah, and of course we got Skeleton Crew coming up, Mando season 4. I'm wondering if the Acolyte, some of the things that we learned in the Acolyte are going to tie into, loosely. I mean, an Acolyte takes place 200 years before the Phantom Menace. But I think some of the things that we'll learn in there, maybe some information about the Jedi or the Sith, that will reflect on things that are happening in this current storyline.
I like the occulty trailer. I don't know. Maybe that's something that we can review on. Maybe that's something we can review on, like the Bleeding Edge report, Andres. We'll have to see if that fits our schedule or something like that. Like down the road when occulty comes out on Netflix, obviously they'll drop all the episodes in one shot, right? So it won't be episodical. Netflix doesn't do that, right?
No, it's Disney Plus. It's not.
I know Skeleton Crew is, but it's occulty.
And
Occult is going to be too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned doing that yet. So
I want to do occulty. I just didn't know. I didn't know it was on Disney Plus. I don't know why I thought it was on Netflix.
Yeah. So
I think of a different Star Wars project that they're doing on Netflix.
Well, they did just open the door to so Disney can, I guess, sell their movies and shows to other. So maybe that's what you read.
Okay, maybe that's what I read.
Some recent news that just came out.
No, Cyber. Now that I know that's Disney Plus, we'll definitely cover that. I think we even discussed that already. That we wanted to cover occulty, didn't we? Once we saw the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Skeleton Crew too, so I mean, I have a feeling that we would just keep rolling into the different Star Wars series, anyways.
That's what my thoughts were too. Was we just ride with Skeleton Crew because I mean we've got to figure out what we're going to do with Marvel. Don't we have the What If coming out before the end of the year?
Yeah, it's in December. So
And then we have the Marvels in November.
And then we have Echo. They're going to drop Echo in January.
Correct.
We're going to have to figure out how we're going to work all that out. But hey, we'll figure those schematics out internally, folks. In the meantime, I just want to basically say, going into the finale, that I think Andre's made a lot of good points. Guys, feel free openly to, like, throughout the review to discuss as far into the episode as you want to, based off my questions. Don't feel like you have to limit yourself within the range of the scope of, like, a certain segment of the film or whatever, whatnot. Just it's just going to be kind of wide open. But I am going to start from start to finish and whatnot, just loosely. So basically, the way we come off of episode 7 is in a place where, we got the battle where, of course, Ezra decided not to take any kind of weapon, which was really fucking weird. Although he did finally pick up a blaster, which seemed so like commonsensical when he finally did. You know what I mean? Like, and I really was kind of like, I was a little bit underwhelmed by Thrawn in these in episode 7 and in episode 8. I was a little bit underwhelmed. I won't lie. I don't know that I completely see the full picture of how things have played out, but we ended up in a position where basically, Ezra's reunited. Ahsoka's not pissed off at Ren, about kind of like what she did, in terms of kind of thinking that Ahsoka was dead, right, and deciding to take off with Elsbeth and go get Thrawn. We of course got to finally see the ship. And we got to see it mounted. Elsewhere ship that she built with those 8 hyperdrives or whatever, whatnot. We got to see it mount Grand Admiral Thrawn's command ship, which I thought was really cool how it clipped in place and everything and whatnot, right? But I'll tell you, we ended up again with a position. I think Andres makes a good point where I think Leech, you had mentioned you thought that maybe we might see Hatati, or how do you pronounce her name?
Shin
Hatati. We really thought you kind of thought that she would just kind of like give up to Ahsoka or something like that or whatever, whatnot. It might end up being trained by Ahsoka.
Yeah,
I think I was really excited for her from episode 1. If you remember correctly, like I was really so stoked by her character.
Yeah.
And I think Andres really hit the nail on the head when he said that, like, I just don't see where this goes now with Baylan. Sort of like letting her go, right? She ends up at the end of this episode kind of like with those like, sandhill, sand people type people or whatever, whatnot of the planet, Peredia or whatever, along with some others. But basically, what we end up with going into the introduction of episode 8 is that we've got, Ezra teamed up now with, part of the Rebels team. You got Ren and you got Ahsoka and you got Huang, obviously is there, whatnot and everything, right? And essentially we start off and they're with the fucking the little the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle motherfuckers. Whatever the fuck they're called. The Nazi. The Nazi. They're with the Nazi for some reason. I have no idea why. They're like hovering above the Nazi, like at a snail's pace, right? Like, and basically like kind of on their way to Thrawn, right? And that's when, after the troops removed themselves and Thrawn strategically decided to kind of like leave them alone, right? We end up getting some internal discussions between like, we get Huang. Yes, that's right. I'm fucking up Huang's name already. We get Huang. We got Ezra trying to build a lightsaber, right? If I remember correctly, right off the bat, we get Thrawn, and I believe that the Ellsworth wish stuff happens right off the bat too, doesn't it? Basically,
right within the first 10-15.
Yeah, where we end up having Ellsworth. Thrawn basically, strategically decides that, once he decides to send 2 of his, the X-wing fighters, whatever the fuck they're called, after them to kind of just take out their ship. Like, again, kind of soft pedaling with them and whatnot. It grounds them. They lose the ability to use their ship, Huang and Ezra, and after Ezra's gone ahead and made a lightsaber. and Jason gets mentioned, and there's a dynamic and a dialogue between Huang and Ezra, where like they discuss Jason as his master.
No, Kanan Jarrus.
Kanan Jarrus. I'm sorry, Kanan Jarrus. We discussed, Huang discussed helping him build his first lightsaber, and ends up having a part, and some of the conversation kind of ends up leading and stranding towards Ren, who then kind of, takes off, and Huang explains to her to lets Ezra know the reason why Ahsoka stopped training her is because of the Battle of Mandalore, right? And how she kind of thought that at that point, if she continued training her, she might go to the dark side, right? We then go in and we have Elsbeth sort of get knighted by the Witch Sisters, right? When Thrawn explains that when Elsbeth kind of questions him about his strategy, he explains that hey, we've got time on Ahsoka, right? Like why they're doing what they're doing with the thermal people and everything and whatnot and all that, and we're distracting them. We're ready to go, right? And they're not, and so I want to stop there, right? And if I left anything out, please feel free, to interject it or put it out there. But Andres, I'll go to you first. What are your thoughts on the introduction coming off of episode 7?
Well, it was good. I was happy we got right away through this episode. It was very cool to see Ezra building the lightsaber, and like the lightsaber, if you pay attention to the build of the lightsaber, it's actually similar to his master. What's his name? I forget.
Kanan.
Kanan, right?
Yeah.
So that was very neat, and so that was really cool. And then of course, learning how Mr. H, that's what I'm calling him. I'm missing his name now. Mr. H, explained that he's been around centuries of training younglings, as George Lucas told us that this is how you name your kid in this universe, the younglings. And thousands of Jedis, and it was interesting how he explained how Kanan was like shy, and he was very good at as a Jedi during the times of the Jedi Knights, high rise, to say it. But yeah, that was really neat. Of course, the dialogue and everything was going into rain. But it was weird. Like, okay, like this is where like the story, like the plots and like the conversation of certain characters just doesn't make sense. Like, I get that Ahsoka was kind of worried about Rain, but it should be the other way around. Like, I think that Mr. H should say like Ahsoka should be more worried about her as the master, because she was trained by Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, and I never had the doubt that she was going to turn into the dark side. Rain, like she was just, it was the flow of the show, like not committed to Rain's like rebellion side, or like her going like through like someone like a conflict of joining maybe the dark side or whatnot. It's like I could not believe that in this show. Like, that was not the case. Her conflict was this: she just wanted to see her friend. That was it. I don't believe that. I believe more that Ahsoka, like as a master, she was worried more that she is maybe similar to her, her old master that she had, prior to her exile, or her leave of the Jedi's, the Jedi Order. So, but that was one thing I was like, okay, why not? But yeah, and then her conversation with Ahsoka. I disagree with you. Who was it? Saber or Jeff? I mean, Ahsoka is a very seasonal Jedi master. Like we've seen with various Jedi masters of the Star Wars universe, they have their way of handling their apprentice, and like how they handle the situation that doesn't go the way it is. I think Ahsoka knew her gut that Rain was gonna do it anyway. Like it didn't matter. Like she knew that she was gonna take the risky part of joining them to find Ezra in this like location, despite the danger of bringing Thrawn into back to the other realm of the galaxy, right? And so She just, yeah, is glad that she is alive, and like, like she just being like a giant master, like, okay, look, we're here now, we're at this moment, we could still stop it as the heroes, and so that makes sense. But one thing that was kind of, weird was like uh this is something I did not like about this episode, was like how Rain had to use her force powers. Like, that was kind of like, I didn't like that. Like, like she thought that, you know like, she wished that she had the force, because the lightsaber is key to balance that. Like, that's not what Ahsoka was trying to say. Like, Ahsoka was trying to say the force is what you should do when you're like in control, of your emotions and slash your environments, and situations. It's not always about lightsaber. Like, look at Ezra in the two episodes. Yes, it was stupid that he didn't pick up a blazer, lightsaber, but he was very efficient as a fire, as a Jedi master. Like, he used the Force so well without a lightsaber. He's like, you don't need a lightsaber. You just need to use your surroundings and how to defeat your enemy. So, but yeah, that whole stage was okay. But the best part was really Morgan Elizabeth becoming a Super Saiyan witch. Now that was very cool. I did not expect that. The Night Sisters saying that, okay, you're ready. Are you ready to give up your humanity and your past? And it was so cool. And and the makeup was kind of cool. Like, I really love the CGI dark eyes. That was
Yeah,
really neat.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and the last thing to wrap up is like, it was cool to see the sword like just peering. Like, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna give her like a legit sword. I thought they were gonna give her like some sort of, like, I don't know, like lifesaver or something like that. I wasn't expecting like a legit sword in the Star Wars universe. But I mean, we've seen other weapons in Star Wars, but it was kind of cool to see a samurai sword and all that. So it was really neat. But yeah, so the beginning was great. It was like, okay, like, I get it, like you know, getting the acquaintance of our main characters. But when we get to the villain part, that was where I was more excited, because like Thrawn is like trying to get out of this planet so badly, and like he's like putting a lot of effort to not waste resources, and so he's like trying his best to like how to defeat his heroes and try to get out of this planet that he's been stuck for so many years. So that was the part I was more intrigued in this episode. So, but yeah, overall good opening, but there's more to come, which I'm so excited to talk about. Zombies.
Mr. Leach.
Yeah. Same thing. So I felt that there were some parts of this episode that were a little convoluted. So you have Ezra saying in the previous episode, I don't need a lightsaber. The Force is my ally. And then right at the beginning of this episode, he's building a lightsaber. You know, which I thought was a little odd, kind of like almost like it retconned itself. Um, I did like getting the information about Sabine and about how there was that rift between Ahsoka and her. Um, I thought that was pretty cool. Um, the uh, yeah, the whole witchcraft thing was pretty awesome too. Uh, you know, the effects were like great, and the timing of this coming out around Halloween, uh, made perfect sense. Um, because when you're reanimating, dead soldiers and things like that, it's just I don't want to get too far into it yet, but um, it was really really wild. The other thing that I thought was really convoluted was like how much damage can Ahsoka's ship take in one episode? I mean, it was like, okay, it's attacked by TIE fighters. And then they go, oh, we'll just hold it up with the Force and then let me crash our ship into the two TIE fighters. Does that. And then by the end of the episode, it's back again. And it's like, like, did you see how like banged up that thing was? There's no way they fixed, Hu Yang fixed it in, 30 minutes, and made it flyable again.
Yeah, and how is the turtles, these creatures, know how to like fix the thing? Like I get their
Yeah, yeah,
survival.
yeah.
Like I never. Yeah, that was a good point. I mean, like if you remember previously in Star Wars films, I haven't seen the other shows, but like they always have this attention of detail. You need like a part to fix the ship, and
Yeah.
this ship, you need some sort of parts to fix it. It's not like bam, 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 you fix it. It's like
Yeah.
after it gets damaged, it's done. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
Unless they
I,
got some cool ship repair shops on that planet that we didn't see, but I don't know. So there were some things that, maybe I'm just nitpicking, but um, I didn't really pick up on it the first time I watched it. I rewatched it just before this. And I really, I didn't enjoy the second viewing as much as I did the first time. Because I was picking up on all these little stupid things, and I don't know. I think they could have maybe taken 10 minutes out of the show and like consolidated it, made it like a full on awesome episode. Um, but it is what it is.
I agree with you, Jay. Like I did have that feeling in the second time.
Yeah,
Like it felt like it was like spectacle over substance, basically.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You know, and,
Absolutely.
and that was not like I don't think it was intentional. It was kind of designed because like they had so many plot points, and like my whole issue with the whole series is like there was like jumps of like there was like jumps in the character arcs that I was like, okay, I get where you're coming from, but it doesn't make total sense. Like, as I mentioned with Ray Stevenson's character and his the apprentice, but it was
Mhm.
also the Ahsoka and Rain relationship. Like, we needed the information that they were having this strained relationship from the beginning.
Yeah,
Like, you need to show me, not tell me.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
that's the issue that I have with this episode. Like in general, it's like they're telling me this stuff, and it's like I get it, but like you have to show me in flashbacks or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's. I mean, I take the spectacle over these like blue things. Like
Yeah.
like I'll take zombies over talking scenes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same here.
Cyberneticshark, sir. Your thoughts on the opening?
I'm sorry. Where did you end the opening part?
You're opening up until the point where you get the ground assault on Thrawn's ship.
Okay. So, I mean, the beginning of the episode is interesting for a couple facts. I mean, this episode, from beginning to probably the last like 15 minutes of the film or episode is action packed, which is fantastic. I love that fact. But how it starts out, I think it's very interesting, showing the three witches basically turning Morgana into one of them, which I thought was kind of interesting. That all of a sudden it's just like, oh, we're going to turn you into one because you're this is your purpose, you're fulfilling it. And I thought it was interesting, kind of the conversation, Thrawn and Morgana had a little bit too there, basically kind of him explaining kind of a little bit of his plan, kind of what he was going with, and her still willing to, basically do this and become one of these witches. And you can kind of see in her before they start doing kind of the ritual on her, she stops there for a second, kind of thinks, and you're kind of like, oh, is she gonna change her mind? Is she gonna go a different way? And she doesn't. She goes through with it, and you're just kind of thinking to yourself, like, like she looked like for a second there she might be thinking something, but unfortunately she didn't. And we all saw what happened to her at the end. But I definitely thought that part was interesting for the fact that they took this even already kind of great warrior bad guy character and it made her even more powerful, which you don't see very often in like a first season if you have more than one season. So I was surprised by that when they decided to go that route. But it wasn't a bad thing. I thought it was interesting. And so basically then leading through that, I mean, we get some great kind of, sequences with H or Huang, who is so beautifully voiced by David Tennant. Absolutely love David Tennant as the character. And we get him basically with Ezra, and Ezra making a new lightsaber, which, like what Leech said, how it kind of contradicts him when he said, I don't need a lightsaber in the last episode and now decides to make one. You're kind of like, huh? Like, why are you doing that if you think the Force is all you need? But I was happy that he decided to make a lightsaber so that he would actually use a lightsaber in this episode. So I thought that was a great scene because I love the kind of back and forth talking Ezra and Huang, and kind of like Huang explaining, I've been doing this for centuries. I've been, I taught your master how to make one, and your master taught you how to make one, and all this kind of stuff. And I thought that was like a really good kind of like little sequence there of them, kind of getting to know a little bit more about the two characters. Because, other than, them kind of explaining, oh, we need to find our friend Ezra, we didn't really know much about Ezra unless you had seen like the Clone Wars or read any of the books that Ezra you might, learn more information about. So people coming in fresh to the Ahsoka show, not knowing much about Ezra, you're kind of like, I like to know more information. So that was kind of nice to give a little more information there, like who his master was, and, kind of like the reason why he was making the lightsaber kind of the way he was. And then, of course, you have wonderful Dyke face, Ren come in at one point there listening and kind of, kind of feeling like the essence of the conversation there a little bit. And she felt kind of left out, you could see there. And which, who cares? But at one point, like they start to talk to her and she walks away and you're kind of like, oh, that will just like Ren to walk away. But yeah, I mean, I thought that part was really well done. I really liked it. And thought that it worked out really well. It was kind of a nice, like, little bit of extra info, a little bit of that, getting into more of the episode. And then after that is when, I'm trying to remember. Is that when Ahsoka comes back in and they have a conversation
On top of the ship? Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, on top of the ship. Okay. And that little conversation I thought was very intriguing, where, you could kind of see Ahsoka kind of making amends with how she left things with Ren there. How she kind of felt bad in her own way. Like she didn't necessarily say the actual words, but you could see that she was trying to become more of the master and teach her things, to make her be better at being a Jedi herself. And I thought that was a really great conversation, even though kind of like the first, like, I feel like 15, 20 minutes of this episode was a lot of talking. I still felt it flowed very well and still wasn't horribly bad. And so that conversation there, I thought worked really well, basically leading up to them, saying, going to find Thrawn and taking Thrawn on. So that whole beginning part, I thought it was decent. I liked it. There wasn't anything about it I didn't care for, and I thought there was a lot of great things out of that beginning sequence.
What does everybody think before we play the Ahsoka trailer? What does everybody think of the Tati or whatever, the Nati? Does anybody have any thoughts? What do you think, Leech?
I know that Star Wars has to get something that they could sell to little kids, but man, like those guys did absolutely nothing. They were useless, so useless in that show. It was ridiculous. That's my 2 cents.
What do you think, Andres? Do you agree with Leech?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, okay, if you put a lightsaber in my head, it's like, who I choose? These Nazis or the pugs from Last Jedi? I'll take the Yetis 100% over the Pugs. Because at least,
Yeah, I got to back you up on that too.
yeah,
Cyber, what do you think of the Nati?
I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on who this is.
The
The
turtle
Nati, the
guys.
fucking turtle
Oh,
people.
the turtle. Oh, the hermit crabs. I call them the hermit crabs. Sorry, they make me think of hermit crabs. Not, I mean, they definitely look like snails a little bit too. So it's like a
Yeah,
hermit crab snail
snails.
hybrid. Oh my god, those characters. They make me think of the Ewoks. So, you know, if you're a huge fan of the Ewoks, great. If you hate the Ewoks, that's fine too. I get it. A lot of people don't like them. But I thought these characters, I didn't feel they really played a great place, but I understand the reason why they put them in there. And, but at the same time, I think sometimes they were kind of funny. So I thought they were kind of entertaining, but at the same time, I think they were unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I liked it better than Grogu. At least I don't want him to die.
true. Yeah, look, at least the Ewoks can fight, and then these guys couldn't.
Right, exactly.
You know, but
I know the one guy tried to use his fucking thing. He couldn't even do it.
Well, no, he did. He aimed it at the soldier like right. It was just like what could a rock could do with a metal?
The only turtle guy that was any good was the one that was throwing rocks and shit at him.
Yeah.
At the soldiers, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But here, let me drop that trailer.
No. Before we leave, like I want to say one thing. At least they weren't like very merchandising like the pugs in Last Jedi. That's the thing I hate about it. Like at least this and Ewoks were like okay, but I still don't like them. Yeah.
So you're just basically mad, Andres, because you want to buy your fucking Nati doll or whatever and shit.
I'll take Chucky after all of these guys.
That's right, Chucky episode 2 on Sunday, bitch. Are we live streaming on your show again?
Oh yes, we are.
Yeah, the first episode was great.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
What happened to that?
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. You and I both know who could help you with this.
She's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain.
You have no power.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
I've watched many an Imperial officer make the same assumptions about the rebellion. Even I fell victim to the heroics of a single Jedi. Never again.
you how to build a lightsaber anyway?
Kanan Jarrus.
Tell me everything I know.
And I taught him how to build a lightsaber. Now it all makes sense. The relationship between a master and an apprentice is as challenging as it is meaningful. Well done. Looks like you were a good student. At the end of the war, the Empire purged the entire surface of the planet, killing hundreds of thousands.
Your family?
We're all lost, sadly. Ahsoka felt that if Sabine unlocked her potential, she would become dangerous.
Anakin.
He always stood by me, even when no one else did.
Just get out of there! Go! Go! Now!
The options to prevent our departure are now severely limited, if not impossible. Which is why we should prepare for a ground assault immediately.
The blessing of the Great Mothers shall protect you in battle against the Jedi.
All were honored to make the sacrifice. For you.
As for the Empire, the security of our galaxy, rain hellfire upon them.
And there you go, folks. That takes us up right to where we're at in the episode, right there. So we're right at the ground assault. This is right when the ship gets taken out, Ahsoka's ship. And at that point, they go horseback or whatever the fuck those things are, and they take on and they all use their force powers, against the which I felt like the Thrawn's ship could have like rained more fire on them than they did.
Yeah, he made it sound like there was just going to be this ridiculous, trouncing.
You think that ship would have a lot of tail guns, like underbelly guns and whatnot and everything. I would think that thing would really have some serious firepower on it. Isn't that like a command ship?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, so it was still a good scene. Them on horseback and whatnot and everything and all that, and trying to deflect some of the bolts and whatnot and all that kind of stuff and scatter around them. I thought that was good. They all combined to use their force powers, which was dope, right? To enter in, and then they take on the Death Squad, the Night Squad, right? And we do get the zombified, the Darth Sisters zombifying what is probably one of the best action scenes in the whole episode. The three of them, first of all, the three of them with lightsabers taking on the whole squad, right? And then, working as a team with Ahsoka telling Ren to go to her blasters. And you could clearly see, now I'm sorry, but I'm not, this is not a knock on at all on the actress that plays Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson, but she's slow with her lightsaber, man. Compared to Ren and compared to Ezra, even Elsbeth character is so much quicker with a sword, with her sword arm. Even when she went to one saber later on against Elsbeth, she's slow. Like I'm sorry, but Rosario is slow. Compared to all the other Jedi users in the show, she's the slowest with her lightsabers. Like, she fights Balin, you can see that he's basically like giving ground to her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, she is female, but still, like, even with Elsbeth, you can see it when she fights Elsbeth. You could see that Elsbeth is quicker with her saber.
Yeah,
you could see Sabine is quicker with her saber. Ezra's sick with his saber. I think he was actually kind of toning it down. What do you guys think of that fight scene? Cyber, what did you think of that fight scene? And then of course that the Thrawn calling on the sisters to revive them, and then getting trapped kind of like partially, in that sort of staircase and whatnot, while they're still trying to leave the the home base of Thrawn and enter into like the ship in some way. Because at this point, Thrawn is ready to go. He's loaded to go.
This action sequence is fantastic. Absolutely loved it. Thought all the fighting was done really well. I didn't think anybody was better than anybody. I think they all did their own part. I think one thing for Rosario Dawson, why she fights the way she does, is because she is double wielding 2 lightsabers. So she's going to be a tad bit slower because one, she's doing 2 sabers at once. So her mind is going to be going back and forth a little bit more than say somebody using one lightsaber. So I think that's the reason why she looked like she was going slower. But if you look at her technique is flawless if you look at it, because every move she countered, even when it was a little bit slower, all the different people she was fighting. So I think that just along the run there is just because she was dual wielding 2 lightsabers. Because once she lost the one lightsaber, if you noticed, when she had one, she was a lot faster. So I think that just had to do with that she's doing 2 at one time, and that's why she seems a little slower. But overall, that whole scene was done so well, them taking out all the stormtroopers so effortlessly. I mean, yeah, Ezra was getting in there, Sabine was getting in there. I mean, she was like doing, lightsaber, doing the gun back and forth and stuff like that, and basically just them all taking them all out. They end up getting them all down, basically, and and about to enter, and then all of a sudden they're revived by the sisters, like you said. And there was everyone's zombie moment, because if you remember, I can't remember if it was I think it was the episode prior to last one or the one before that. People were saying, "Oh, I think these guys are zombie troopers." Yeah. So I mean, people got their zombie troopers, but I don't think they were zombies before this. If they were, they just got revived again. So I mean, no matter which way you could go, everyone got their zombie troopers, which I thought was funny, especially because I was like thinking of something like, I'm not watching Walking Dead or Night of the Living Dead here. I'm watching Star Wars. Like, why the hell is there zombies? I'm like, okay. It wasn't one of my best parts about this, about this episode. I'm like, I thought it was okay, but I didn't see a need for that. Resurrecting them is one thing, but they ended up showing that they were like living corpses. So I just think that the whole zombie thing, I mean, I'm sure that's maybe part of the story somewhere down the road or something. But at the same time, it's just like, I feel this was unnecessary. I didn't need these zombie stormtroopers. But anyways, I still think that the fight sequence was really done well. Really amazing. Them, getting to the point where they're able to, match their way through, and then all of a sudden them getting revived again, and them having to go battle again. We get more action. We have those 2 black stormtroopers, which were they seemed like they were a little bigger than the white stormtroopers. They were definitely like more macho. They seemed to be more hardier for stormtroopers. And I mean, that them battling Ren and Ahsoka battling them out, I thought was really cool. I mean, that one point where we get the mask kind of partially broken off there, we see the zombie face a little bit there. And that was really done well. I mean, all the action in this whole sequence was so awesome and so well choreographed. And I mean, the visuals were so amazing too. So hands down, really great action sequence here leading up to them trying to get into Thrawn's ship.
Okay, Mr. Leech.
Yeah. So I to add on to what Cyber was saying about Ahsoka's lightsaber skills, I think it has a lot to do with that she's mature. She has a better connection with the Force, so there's less effort, and she's more exacting, if you will. So I see what you're saying, Jeff, but I think it was kind of intentional that's her at this point, that's her skill level. I did like the reanimating of the troopers. It's probably my favorite part of this episode. But if you recall the one, or maybe you didn't see it, but when the one trooper had Sabine up holding her by her neck up here, his helmet was cracked. right here, and you could see like a zombie's rotting flesh, and you could see its teeth and all that stuff. So they are definitely have been reanimated already, and then so it's almost like with this mother magic that they can just bring back whomever over and over and over again. So um I don't know if that's what's in their boxes, is these reanimated troopers or reanimated something that's going to be like Thrawn's new army, when they get back. But yeah,
Question.
I thought that scene was like top notch, man. It was awesome.
It seems like some of the stormtroopers are people, but we don't really know. Like the ones that like came to Earth, that came down to Pretty and fought like with the turtle people and whatnot and everything, right?
Yeah.
They didn't seem like zombies.
Well, if you see that, like all their armor
Their
is all,
armor
like,
is all
cracked. It's
weird.
cracked and it's all taped together and stuff like that. So they've been through some shit. You know what I mean?
Well, definitely.
So,
Andres. Yes, I agree with both men. The reanimated. Well, I mean, the sale scene is great. The fight scene between the three Jedi's were awesome. I mean, with the just I mean, since what the prequel trilogy, we've seen kind of like different lightsabers, like purple lightsaber. It was cool to see like a white lightsaber with green and blue. So that was kind of a cool contrast in the scene with our characters. With blue lightsaber, I always associate that as like a very like top tier Jedi. Like you're like the master, and the green lightsaber, I always thought that could be like a dear apprentice or something like that. Or why not? Like the white lightsaber is like Gandalf's like want like huge stick of power. That's what Ahsoka is. So like Ahsoka is Super Saiyan now, and I agree with Jay and about Ahsoka and Saber. Like she's a older Jedi. She has a very different set of skill. Plus, like if you think about like Jedi's or dark side users with double lightsabers, they always use it in different ways. Like Darth Maul had like a double lightsaber with that one stick, and like that could have been another way she could be more faster, but she just used two lightsabers, so it makes sense for her to use it in a more efficient way to fight the enemies. That makes sense. But man, the reanimated stormtroopers was nothing. I did not expect that. That was so funny. I mean, as Jay Leech had brought up, is like such a perfect time for Halloween. Just a reanimated stormtroopers, and saying that it's just like what reanimated stormtroopers? What are you be watching, the reanimator, or the
great
name of
movie,
the
by the way.
yeah great movie. Oh my god, it's it's so funny, and oh my god, it's like when the Night Sister starts like spelling their spells, it's like oh my god, I'm like oh my god, what are they gonna do? And then you see the green smoke that was like creepy. It was like very much Hammer horror, which was great. And seeing the stormtrooper's eyes like lit up, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And then of course the traditional zombie noises, they like the with the voices. So it's like, oh yeah, they're zombified now. And great way to make the challenge for your heroes like even more like even more challenging for them to get up to the ship. So that was really awesome. Yeah, but I guess one thing I will say that I kind of wish maybe we kind of saw more of the magic in this series, because the fact that you throw it in this final episode was kind of like, oh, because like it could have explained certain things, like the Inquisitor. It made total sense that maybe the Inquisitor was a reanimated person. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we throwing magic in this show. Like I mean I get these magic was already there in the previous shows like Rebels or Clone Wars. I don't know about Clone Wars, but like throwing it in live action, that's kind of like you're throwing your audience to like expect that, oh my god, there's magic in Star Wars. So I feel like we needed to more set that up to this finale. But Overall, great scene. I love it. I was totally with it. This is the greatest spectacle that I've seen for Star Wars, and I think was such a great scene. So I'm just excited to talk about more about Morgan Elizabeth versus Ahsoka, because that was my favorite part of the episode. It's the Super Saiyan fights. Give me gently for it. Oh my god.
Jedi.
This never happened before.
This is new.
Lucky us.
We require a little more time
I understand.
for the Empire.
Go on, I'll handle this.
We stay together, remember?
You must stop Thrawn.
Take us out.
I thought that was badass too. I love that.
Yeah.
And you will die here. Alone.
Alone.
She has done what was required.
757 here. Copy.
I am diverting all power to the engines.
Allow me to commend you on your efforts today. You've been quite a worthy opponent.
You don't get me any more power.
I regret we haven't met face to face. Perhaps now we never shall. I know you because I knew your master. I concluded your strategies would be similar. One wonders just how similar you might become. Perhaps this is where a Ronin such as you belongs. Today, victory is mine.
Called her a Ronin.
Yeah.
Hi, Hera. Home.
Ezra's where he needs to be. And so are we. It's time to move on.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't show the Force Ghost. My bad.
Yeah,
I'll
no
be
one.
back.
Wait, so Okay,
there
so
was a
this is.
little.
Oh no, go ahead,
I
Jay.
gotta bring that back. Hold on. It's not fair to not show the Force Ghost.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, great music. We love it. And there you go.
Yeah. Just remember to cancel your audio.
Yeah, I know. Auto cancellation.
Yeah.
Tell StreamYard.
Yes, StreamYard. You know what's funny was just why it took so long for the Imperial ship to get out. Like I think those ships move fast when they get off their planets, like in movies. Like that was the weird like contrived thing about this episode. It's like we got
Well,
the villain.
he had to use the sling ring.
Well, yes, but okay, you put in the sling ring, but it should have been faster to get after being attached to that. I don't it was kind of funny that it took just half the episode for them to just get it up.
That's why I felt like Tron kind of plotted a little bit there towards the end.
Yes,
Leech, you got to go here quick. We're almost pretty much done with this. Kind of where we left off. From the where we end up getting Elsbeth being knighted. She gets the sword, and we end up getting Ahsoka splitting off to take on Ellsworth. Either way, at that point we get we do get Ezra, and we do get basically Sabine fight the two whatever they are, like storm night troopers, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of get towards the end where we end up getting Ellsworth defeated, with Ezra getting on the ship, towards everything we saw towards the end of the video. What are your thoughts, Leech? And then if you want to go ahead and drop your rating.
Okay. Yeah. So I did. I'm sorry. The one point I did want to make about the final thing. Some people were bitching online that all of a sudden Sabine's like, oh, now she's like a force master. I think she had a lot of stuff going on mentally between the Ahsoka and Sabine rift that they had, and also seeing her family get basically slaughtered and her home planet destroyed, and then Ezra was gone, and it seems like that in Peridia there was just like this like perfect storm of things being uh, in her mind okay, or she's not embraced it, but like she's learns how to deal with it, and I think that she just opened herself to the Force, almost like Rey did in Force Awakens. It's like all of a sudden she was like this super powerful, but something clicked and made it all work. And I think that that's what's going on with Sabine, is that there was all these outside interferences, and now that her mind is clear, she's and she's back with the person that she loves and all this stuff that it just kind of opened her up, and now she's like not full force, but she's showing what some of her potential could be. I liked the what do you call the big ring? What did you call it, Jeff?
The sling ring.
Sling ring. There you go. Yeah, I like that. I always wondered why when they go into hyperspace, why everybody doesn't go like that. They're just kind of standing there like it's all chill. We're going at like 92.
I thought they were going to get burnt up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but and as far as an ending, I really wish that Wrath of Khan was here, because I really wanted to ask him about that beacon that Balin was looking at, and I kind of have this fan theory. I know that they're trying to make the sequel trilogy a little more tolerable, and I'm wondering if that what Balin sees, that little beacon out there, might be the entrance to the world between worlds, and he's able to pull the Emperor out before his demise in Return of the Jedi, because that's what happened with Ahsoka. Ahsoka was basically killed by Darth Vader, and Ezra came and pulled her out of the situation, like right before that fatal lightsaber strike was to hit, or I think that whole place blew up or something like that. It's been a while. Um, so I think that maybe Balin's thing is to help get the Emperor back. Maybe he sees the threat of Thrawn. I don't know what it could be. Um, as far as my rating, I would say as an episode standing on its own, I would say probably like a 8.75. As the finale for the season, I'm going to say an 8. I just thought for the finale it could have been a lot better.
I like the way that you put that. Maybe we'll do it the same way. I think that's
Okay.
a good way of putting it, Leech. And thank you very much. And we appreciate you coming on with us, brother.
Yeah, dude. Anytime, man.
And yeah, you'll see Khan soon. Don't worry. He'll be back for more Star Wars.
Okay, man. I'm gonna do some research the next time we get together, maybe for the Acolyte trailer, which I did think was pretty cool. I can't wait till we get a cleaner copy, because that bootleg copy was a little rusty.
We're going to cover everything that Star Wars does.
Cool.
So, you'll be back, Leech. We'll have you back soon. And hopefully we'll try to get you on Loki if we can.
Okay. All right.
All right, brother. Take care.
Awesome. All right. Take care, guys. Thanks for having me. Later.
All right.
All right. Andre's the pop culture guy, sir. Your take. Take out that final third of the episode and give us your rating, and do it the way Jason did. Give it your individual rating for the episode, and then your rating as a finale for the series.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. So the finale, I think it was like, okay, we know that we're getting a second. Well, I think Lucasfilms wanted a second season for the show, and we're getting multiple projects that will connect to this. So, like, I get where we were left off, but I think there were some things that were unsatisfying, like the Ray Stevenson and his apprentice.
Shahad.
Shahad, right? That was probably the one that was disappointing in the finale. Like, we should have some resolution, and it's kind of tough for me to see, like, continue. I mean, we're not going to continue with Ray Stevenson's character, but
No.
the shape, like, it doesn't make sense. It's just, and recasting is something that people have been throwing out. It's like, I don't know about recasting, but but the Shay character, I don't know either. Like, I don't know, like, her leading these bounty hunters and maybe build her own, like, Jedi, like, dark users, like in between, as Rafik Khan has been saying, right? Like, I don't know, like, is she doing that, or like she's making a decision to be the leader of that group? I don't know, like, it's just weird. That was the weak part there. I get where having Astra meeting with the rebels makes sense, so he knows what's going to happen. Seeing Thrawn out to that planet was kind of neat. I was kind of curious what we're going to do with Ahsoka and Sabine now in that planet. Like, they have the ship, and it's still functional. I mean, it's not damaged, but like in terms of hyperdrive, it'll be a long time to get back to there. So so I mean, overall, I say individually for me, I think this episode was a 9 out of 10, sort of, because the spectacle was great, but in terms of character development and like just the overall storyline that we got here was okay. It was nothing special. It was like there were so many characters they dealt with. I feel like Cyber brought up this up like last week. It's like, this is a Ahsoka show. Like, I feel like it wasn't a Ahsoka show. It was like a Ahsoka and
the Rebels.
The Rebels, yeah.
It was an extension. It was an extended version of the Rebels, the show, basically.
Yeah. So I felt like
featuring Ahsoka.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I feel like I was kind of misled. I think, and so that was the disappointing part because we didn't get too much character development for Ahsoka as a main character. It's like I guess she's like older and seasoned, but like there's stories you can tell at that point, like that because we were frustrated with Sabine's character with so many like so many episodes. Like, oh my god, she's so like what was it, episode 4? Like, just why I like that episode. I It's frustrating that she like did not destroy the orb and just literally went with the bad guys just to be her friend slash lover. You know, it's just like, oh my god, what kind of character are you? And then this episode, her getting her force powers. I like how Jay say it, but I think for everyone that didn't like it, it's because the show did not communicate that like at all. Why Sabine couldn't like use the force powers at all. Like you need to telegraph that a bit more and like show some visual like flashbacks or like more dialect to kind of confirm that. That it makes sense why in this finale she was able to use the force field in a very proper and satisfying way. So yeah, so in terms of the finale, I'll give this like a 8.10 as a good finale. Like I don't think it's the best. Like individually, it's 9 out of 10. For a season finale, is an 8 out of 10 for me. If I'm hoping, I think 8 out of 10 is a good reasonable thing. At least we got our zombies. Look, we got super witches. We got a zombies. Morgan Elizabeth was Super Saiyan until she got killed. By the way, Morgan Elizabeth, we didn't talk about this. I love her character. She was the best villain in the Star Wars universe. I really like the actress. I think she was. Yeah, she's my Margot Robbie, I think, in terms of this series. Well, no, Mr. H is my Margot Robbie. Like, I was so happy he survived. But anyway, Morgan Elizabeth was a great villain.
So Mr. H is your Margot Robbie?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely put. You remember just thinking about it. I was like, who made me laugh and who made me think realistically, like he's actually right all the time, and that's Mr. H, aka voiced by David Tennant.
I'm giving Morgan Elsbeth my Margot Robbie Award winner, and I'm gonna rate the episode on its own. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. As a finale, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. And overall, I think the series was great. We'll talk about it more down the road and whatnot and everything. We're going to cover a lot of Star Wars stuff. But I think that the plan was for season 2 was for something with Balin to happen. And I hope they do recast that character. I do. And Cyber, you can give me your thoughts on that. I hope they do recast it because I think the plan was whatever he's doing there would have helped them get back to the fight with Ron, right? That's my that's my thinking. So I do hope that they recast that role. What do you think, Cyber?
It's a hard one because they could recast it, or they could decide not to recast it and just rewrite the whole thing, and change the path that it's going on because how great Ray Stevenson was. I mean, if you look at pretty much everything that's been going on with Disney at this moment, a lot of things are being rewritten, redone, scrapped. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if season 2, if they do a season 2 of Ahsoka, it'd probably be a different path than originally was set to. I think Ray Stevenson was just too big of an actor, too great of an actor, that they would decide to keep the character and recast him. I think if anything, they'll give him a fond farewell, having him just live off in the mountains or whatever, and probably like have the apprentice take over or something. So I think that several possibilities could happen.
You're right. There's a lot of alternatives there. And what are your thoughts on the final third of the films, the episode, sir?
So up to that like final battle was really fantastic. Once the battle was over, it kind of dipped for me. It got boring. So I think that like that first like 10, 15 minutes of the finale, third part of the episode was really good. And then once that was over, it became kind of just like, okay, we're getting to go to this, go into this, go into this. But it really didn't, I feel it didn't really wrap things up and it didn't conclude very well.
It wasn't very
And-
it wasn't very climatic.
No, it didn't have a really good ending. It didn't have like a solid Star Wars ending where everyone's happy and we've won. So that part really like kind of like stunk the finale for me. Like I was like, at first I thought it was going to be the best finale I've seen in Star Wars or even Disney for the last couple years. And I was like, and then how they ended, I was like, you killed it, guys. You killed it. You had me, and then you killed it. So yeah, I think that the first portion of that third half is great, and then that last half of it's horrible. Overall, I'd have to give the episode a 7 because of how bad the ending was. Overall, the series I would give a 9 altogether. I thought it was a really fantastic series overall. Really a lot of great points, very little bads. And I thought everyone was great. I'd have to give my Monica Rambeau award to Ezra, the actor to play Ezra, because I really liked him after he came out. Even after he did that stupid Force shit in the last episode, he redeemed himself in this episode. So, and that actor just seemed pretty cool. So I liked him. So I given him the Monica Rambeau award.
I want to change my overall series rating is an 8.75 across the board. That's it's an 8.75 for the series. I just want to make it clear. I was off on my last part there, but I'm going to give it an 8.75. Thank you, Cyberneticshark. We appreciate that. I like how we all have different Monica Rambeau Award winners. I think that's great. I would have given it to Shin Hati if she hadn't fallen off in like the last 3 episodes, right? I mean, I would have given it to her.
Or Ray Sims' character. I thought he could be.
I mean, he's our honorary Monica Rambeau Award, no matter.
Yeah, he will.
Such a great job. And Cyber, you made a really good point as far as like that. There's alternatives there, right? They can give him they can sunset that character in a very effective way, I think, and still make it work out to where they can get off the damn planet, even if it means eternal people have to come up with some shit or whatever, like some technology or some shit. They'll figure it out. But folks, that is our review of Ahsoka Part 8. The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. We're going to go over to plugs real quick. And I'm going to be finally presenting tomorrow an official, well-made, professional as I can do it with editing and everything. I'm going to do our Amazon giveaway to get Andres and to get Cyber over 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It'll be out by Friday for the weekend. And it's going to be very simple. I'm going to be giving away Amazon gift cards based off of you simply coming on and getting in the comment sections of shows during the week that we're covering. Andres with me on the Bleeding Edge Report and Cyberneticshark on the Loki Disney Plus reviews that we're going to be doing over the course of the next 5 weeks. Starting along with this week. 4 left. It's simply giving away Amazon gift cards based off subscribers. I'll deal with it tomorrow. I'll go ahead and put it out. It'll be officially done, and I'll finally have it out of the way. In the meantime, I'm going to switch over to you, Cyberneticshark. If you want to go ahead and do your plug, sir. Let me pull you up and have at it.
So as always, people, if you enjoy me here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge, definitely check out my solo content. I have just 3. As you can see, I've broken the 700 mark finally. I'm at 703. So only 297 to go to the magic 1,000 number. As you can see there, my most recent review was The Expendables 4, so definitely go check that out. Been putting up some mini reviews for you guys too as well. Most recent one is Reptile, which is a Netflix film that just launched this month. Great murder mystery film. Benicio del Toro, Alicia Silverstone, Justin Timberlake's in it. Really good film. As you can see there, trying to keep up with horror Halloween little episodes for you guys. Of course, you can see there, I got Suspera, the original, Opera, another Dario Argento film, and so forth. All that kind of good stuff. Great films. If you have not seen them, check them out. all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, like I always say, you know, if you like me on the Bleeding Edge, definitely check out this stuff. Keep subscribing. Let's get me to that 1,000 mark, and of course, get Mr. Andreas to that 1,000 mark as well. You'll be seeing more Halloween reviews on the minis, at least throughout October. So keep your eyes out for that and those and stuff like that. And yeah, let's just keep rocking. You guys are rocking it. And thank you for anybody that's newly subscribed. You guys, thank you for putting me over the 700 mark finally. And you guys are awesome.
Fuck yeah! And I just added The Conjuring to our movie review list. When we get over to horror again, Cyber, that's gonna be my next horror pick. I can't wait to do Event Horizon, baby. That's gonna be great. We'll be back to doing film reviews here soon, folks. In fact, next Wednesday, right, Cyber? We've got The Hateful Eight.
Correct.
Oh yes, that's cool. I'm excited for that.
I am too. I've never watched it.
Yes. Oh wow. Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Andreas, Pop Culture Guy. This is my channel, Andreas Pop Culture Guy Channel Presents. So I was up to 815 subscribers last time. Now I'm up to 817 subscribers. So thank you everyone. I want to thank everyone from the MCU Bleeding Edge community, Jeff, Cyber. They've been so friendly to me and very supportive of me. Thank you everyone in this community. It's been very enjoyable. And just like Cyber, I'm doing some Halloween content as well. So recently, yesterday I post a Man-Bat villain tribute, and today I post a Android's pop culture talk on Blade, the first film from 1988. And
Great job, good numbers.
Yeah, guess what? It's 25th anniversary of Blade, the 1980 film. So check it out. And yes, check out our Chucky Season 3 Episode 1 live stream we did for Andreas Pop Culture Talk. And of course, as Jeff brought up recently in this panel, we're going to discuss Episode 2 next Sunday. I'm excited for that. Jeff is excited for that. So, and
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So, are you going to come join us or what?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly?
Yeah, possibly.
Chucky Episode 2? 10 o'clock?
Just gotta make sure I send me a link or whatever, and I'll probably pop on.
I'll make a Facebook group chat for Chucky reviews.
Yes,
and I'll make it tonight. That'll be the last thing I do before I go to bed. I'll go ahead and make a Chucky review chat. I'll add some of our buddies in there and whatnot and everything. See if anybody else wants to get in. Right, that would be as we can get some guests in the mix. That'd be great, Cyber. We'd love to see. I would be more excited to do Episode 2 of Chucky if you were there. I won't lie to you. I enjoy recording with you, my friend, and we enjoy recording for you, folks. I want to hope that the fact that I added you guys in the description and I specifically asked ChatGPT to give me a call to action specifically, explaining to support your channels. I hope adding that to the description maybe helped a little bit today. Maybe you guys caught a couple extra subscribers because of that. I'm still learning my craft over here, right? And so it never occurred to me to really to individually do that, but I went and did that today. So maybe that made a difference. Hopefully it did. And I guess from now on I'll go ahead and make sure I do that. I'll make sure I tell ChatGPT to get its ass in gear, and make sure you guys' channels get highlighted in the description so that it's right there to go ahead and subscribe to y'all. But folks, we're almost at 40,000 subscribers as well, and it'd be nice for us to hit 40,000. I'd like to hit 50,000 before the end of the year. I would. I don't know if we're gonna be able to pull that off. I'm thinking about giving away maybe like a Loki season 1 DVD giveaway or something like that. That's in the works to try to get us up to 50,000K before the end of the year. Cyber thought we might hit 100,000K next year. The way I see it, we kind of need to hit 50,000K by the end of the year, hopefully. At least 45,000K. Maybe we might be able to hit 100,000 next year. Didn't you say that, Cyber, to me one time? You thought we might hit 100K tomorrow next year?
No.
No?
No, not. If I said that, I probably said it would probably take a couple years before we hit 100.
Okay. I thought at one point you told me you said you thought maybe like halfway through next year maybe we'd make it.
I would think more logically probably halfway through 2025.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I'm content with that. Considering the fact that our only goal when we started the YouTube channel was just to have a YouTube channel and a podcast. And speaking of which, folks, the podcast is coming back to life. I'm starting to reintegrate and get everything caught up. So pretty soon here, you'll have new episodes of our podcast coming out. So if you prefer podcast form, please, I'm putting stuff up. I'm putting She-Hulk up. I'm putting all those fun reviews. I can't believe me, they're really enjoyable. Thor 4 Love and Thunder review. Oh, that's great too. Believe me, it's a treasure. That's coming out tomorrow on the podcast. But we love you. We thank you very much. God bless all of you. Thank you for supporting the MCU's Bleeding Edge. Thank you for everybody that I've met recently in person that's taken my card and subscribed to the channel. I can tell. I've seen you guys out there subscribing, and I appreciate that. It makes a big difference to us. Thank you for actually knowing who I was in person. You guys over at Publix yesterday, I really appreciate you. You're good people. Thank you for knowing about the MCU's Bleeding Edge and whatnot, and giving me props and saying thank you very much in our comment section to Suni. Say that you're a big fan. I was just joking about the I don't want you to get the pink eye STD shit, bro. We're glad that you're a big fan. That's great. It's nice to have fans, isn't it, Cyber? Andres, good to have fans, right?
Always.
All right, folks, we out of here. We're done with the Ahsoka series, but we're not done with Star Wars. We will see you on Friday for Loki episode 2. Peace.
Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hard.